Shalom, Grand Rising, Osio, Halito. Welcome to the video. Welcome to the channel. I am your brother Daniela, aka the Copper Collab. Can't even speak. AKA the Copper Collab Original. Before I get started, I want to give all honor, praises, and glory to the God of Israel. I also want to give many salutes, much love, much ahab to you brothers and sisters who are keeping the will of our God to the best of your abilities. With that being said, welcome to the video. So today is April 8th. It's about 9:45 right now, almost 10 a.m. So here in Ohio, the meteor, I keep saying meteor, the eclipse is going to happen, I want to say around 3:10 p.m. So it's me, my wife, a friend of ours, and our son. We're going to see the eclipse. We're going about an hour and a half away from where we stay, because here in our city we'll get some of it, but we won't get totality. I want to see the totality, right? I want to see the eye, if you will, right? So we're going about an hour and a half away. We're going to be leaving around 12 because we want to get there with some cushion space, just in case we may have to move to a different area or whatever. We don't want to have to be driving while the experience is going on. But anyways, I'm making this video today because I've just been thinking on this for a while. There's been a lot of theories around this eclipse. And by the way, I'm uploading another video that should be on here before this video. I made this video Thursday, a few days ago. So, I just really haven't got around to being able to edit it and all that stuff. So it's coming soon. I'm going to be sharing, of course, material from the Apocalypse of Baruch and so on and so forth. So yeah, I find it very interesting, the stuff that they're talking about. Of course, there's a lot of theories. Some people feel like there is going to be some type of biological attack. Maybe EMP, maybe the grid goes down, something like that. I don't know. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? But my thought is that it's always better to be prepared and to be ready than have to get ready. So we're going to see the eclipse, but we're going ready. We're taking supplies with us. I'm just going to keep it that simple. We're taking supplies with us in case anything happens, because you never know. You never know if anything can happen, so you just want to stay prepared. And that's essentially what we're doing. We're staying prepared, So anyways, I'm going to switch over so I can show you guys some of these articles that I've been seeing for the past few weeks. And it's just like, okay, why are you guys telling us this? Okay, so as you can see, I typed in the top, don't record the eclipse, because that is essentially what they have been telling us for the past few weeks. And I do want to say, don't mind my jersey. I've had this since I was in middle school, because I've literally been, I was smaller when I was in middle school. I was shorter and smaller. But I've literally had this since I want to say 2004, because I was a big kid. So I just wear it around the house and stuff like that, especially when I don't have, because I'm washing my clothes right now. So if you do hear sounds, it's because my clothes are in there washing and stuff. So that's why I'm wearing this. I love it. Actually, this is very comfortable, man. As you can see, I'm actually wearing it inside out. I'm wearing it inside out right now. It's hilarious. But yeah, anyways, so I typed this up here, right? Don't record the eclipse, right? Because I've been getting a crap ton of articles over the past few weeks saying, like, of course, don't look at the sun. Don't, record the sun. Now, I'm like, okay, maybe not look at the sun, right? During the eclipse. But when they're going so far to say, do not record the sun because it could damage the lens in your phone. I'm wondering how, why would it do that? You see what I'm saying? Like, and then just on top of that, I'm just wondering, does it really damage your eyes? You know what I'm saying? Like, does it really damage your eyes? Because why is it that you can look at the sun any other time throughout the year, but then when a solar eclipse happens, that's just too much for your eyes? Because you can literally peek at the sun. You can look at the sun. You can look at the sun for a few seconds, right? But the thing is to not stare at the sun. We don't stare at the sun because we know if you stare at the sun, it can hurt your vision. And sometimes it can permanently damage your vision. Now they're telling us that even with this eclipse, that if you look at it just for a few seconds, it can damage your vision permanently. And it's like, how? Why is that? Now there could be some validity to that, but a lot of people are calling bullshit on that, right? My wife, she just told me today that she's seen videos where people are like, well, the reason why they don't want you to look into the sun during the eclipse is because it decalcifies your pineal gland. Your pineal gland is essentially like your spiritual gland, right? So it could be because nothing makes sense. They may say like, oh, well, science may say, well, don't look at the sun during the eclipse because the light may bend around the moon and refract and do all this stuff and can hurt your eyes, damage the crystals in your eyes and blah, 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 blah. But I say, I don't trust science. I don't trust the scientist, right? Because a lot of things that they have taught us doesn't make sense. For example, they teach us, because y'all know I'm a flat earther. I'm a staunch flat earther. You can't tell me anything. I'm not ashamed of it. I am proud to know the truth. That's just what it is. But think about this. If you are a globe earther, think about this. This eclipse exposes the lie of the globe earth. It does. I mean, it literally exposes it. So it's like, why would anybody believe anything these fools say? Because when you look at the globe earth model, like I pointed out in another video, which I may point out in this video, it just doesn't make sense. Because the sun and the moon perfectly aligns. Now, of course, they said that the earth was a sphere when we were children back in the 90s. Up until recent, the earth was a sphere. Now it's a pear shape. A pear shape. Just so that they can twist our minds even more, right? To try to make things make sense. But it's a pear shape, right? So if it's a pear shape, why is it that when we get a lunar eclipse where the sun is casting the earth's shadow onto the moon, why is it that we don't ever see a pear shape? Why is it that we don't see a pear shape at all, is what I'm saying. We don't see a pear shape at all. The most we may see is like a red moon, a blood moon or something like that, right? So I'm just it just doesn't make sense to me at all. You would think that you would see a circle up there during a solar eclipse, right? I mean, a lunar eclipse. Or, a pear shape if that was the case, right? But, they're just always making up stuff. And it's just like, people, wake up. Wake up. On the space shuttle, we literally see air bubbles floating around as if it's underwater. We see rats running up and down the space shuttle. It's like, what? How did a rat get in outer space? Come on now. The guys on the astronauts in the ships, their hair don't look right. They bounce around weird. It just doesn't make sense at all, right? You have all these things that's telling you that everything these scientists tell us is full of shit. So, I'm just wondering if what they're telling us about looking at the solar eclipse, is it true? Because it's like they're going so hard. I've never heard them go so hard on, do not look at it, do not record it, do not do this and that. They literally got tons of articles saying this. I have never seen that before. In my lifetime, there has been several eclipses. Never have I seen them go so hard So hard. Why is it that people put out their phones and record the eclipse in 2017, did no damage to their phones, but this time around, there's going to be damage to people's phones? That don't make sense to me at all. That don't make any sense. You see, so I can't trust what these people are saying. But like I said, this should wake up people to the flat Earth, because just if I'm gonna try to type it in. Okay, flat Earth path around Earth. Let's see. Oh shit, guys, I'm tripping. Why I meant to type eclipse. Sorry, 20. Okay, well that was actually a good one right there. Okay, so this is the path that it's following, guys, right? Y'all see this picture right here, right? This is the path that it is following, right? Why is it that the sun and the moon both perfectly, and by the way, this is the size of the sun and the moon, not on the globe Earth. This globe doesn't exist. We don't live on a ball in outer space. But this is the actual size of the sun and the moon compared to the Earth, right? Now, why is it? Now remember, according to the globe Earth theory that they teach us, with outer space, the Big Bang and all that, right? Remember that in outer space, everything is continuously moving, right? Our galaxy is moving, allegedly, it's moving further and further away from the center of the Big Bang, right? Now, the sun is, everything in our solar system is moving, even the sun. Allegedly, according to science, the sun has a type of magnetism that keeps the smaller structures going around, right? Allegedly, the smaller structures are trying to move away. The sun's magnetic field, or whatever the hell it is pulling it towards and keeping it around that circle, right? To me, that doesn't make any fucking sense at all. So anyways, our sun is moving along with the galaxy, along with everything else in the universe is going outwards, constantly expanding, allegedly. And you have the Earth going around the sun. So say if this mic is the sun, I don't know if you guys can see it, but this is the Earth, right? Going around the sun. The Earth is supposed to be like millions of times smaller than the sun, right? Then at the same time, you have the moon that's going around that Earth. So you mean to tell me that the sun and the moon perfectly because it from Mexico, I believe Mexico, well actually it starts out in the Pacific, right? But from the Pacific, well from Mexico all the way to I think Maine, the sun and the moon will be aligned, because this is the path of totality where people will see complete darkness, because the moon and the sun will be perfectly aligned. At least from Mexico to the United States, it's going to be perfectly aligned for about 4 hours. How, Sway? How? How is it that the sun and the moon, with everything moving, Earth is moving around the sun, and then the Earth is moving around the sun, and the moon is moving around the Earth as it's moving around the sun. And it stays like that for 4 hours, maybe even longer than that, because it starts out in the Pacific. So it's probably going to be 6 hours. They're probably experiencing it right now somewhere in the Pacific, because it's 10 a.m. right now. Like, how? That doesn't even make sense at all. And then it does this swerve right here. So that means that the Earth will have to tilt at the same time for what? Maybe 2 hours. The Earth tilts, it dives down a little bit. So in order to get this to do this right, in order to get it to swerve up like that, that means that the top of this ball has to tilt down for the moon and the sun to perfectly stay aligned and move on that swervy path. Now the Earth allegedly tilts every 6 months. It slowly tilts. At 6 months, it tilts. Okay, so it will tilt down to, I don't know how many degrees it tilts down, but it tilts down like that, right? So say this is the ball and my fingernails is like the North Pole, right? So it tilts like this every 6 months, right? And for people on this side of my hand, it is summertime. Then when it tilts back this way, it is wintertime. Allegedly, according to their globe-tard Earth model, right? Doesn't make any sense. But allegedly, today, for what? Maybe 2 hours, the Earth tilts like this. And then it probably tilts back because it looks like it's going to swing back downwards as it's heading to, what is that? Is that Africa or Europe? It's probably Africa. It doesn't make sense. It literally does not make sense at all. Ask yourself, why are they never showing, like, I'm sure there's probably videos out there, but they don't show the sun and the earth and the moon moving during this eclipse. Like, I haven't seen this publicized on any major like news outlet. I haven't seen them show how this is happening, how we're getting this perfect alignment with everything moving. They're not showing us that. Like, why is the Earth, why is it dipping? It has to dip in order to do this. The globe Earth has to dip in order for that wave effect to happen. You see what I'm saying? While the Earth is still spinning and moving around the sun, with the moon moving around it. Like, how does that happen? That doesn't make any sense. And then another thing I wanted to point out, which should really kill the the globe Earth theory for you, is the Earth spins from west to east. Am I right? Allegedly, according to their globe Earth model, from west to east, right? Well, why is it that the moon is going from west to east? Why is the sun and the moon going from west to east? Like, that doesn't make any sense at all. So, like I was saying, sorry about that. Like I was saying, everything just doesn't make sense. And, the sun, what really should end the argument of, the globe Earth for people is the sun and the moon always sets in the west. It rises in the east, sets in the west. But in this situation, the moon and the sun is literally going from the west to the east. Like, make that make sense. Like, that doesn't make any sense at all. You see what I'm saying? Like, why is it that the sun and the moon literally sets, it rises in the east, sets in the west? That is the golden rule that we've known throughout generations, right? But why is it that this solar eclipse, the moon and the sun is literally going from west to east, which is reverse? We're literally, because they're getting over here around 12, we're getting around here around 3. So it's moving in this direction. They always show us that it's moving in this direction. That doesn't make any sense according to what they're teaching us, because the sun always goes from east to west. The moon always goes from east to west. So why is it now going from west to east? It just, that don't make any sense at all. What, did the Earth reverse its rotation? Like, now is the Earth, because the Earth usually spins in this direction, going from west to east. Now what is it doing? Is it going from east to west to reverse the moon and the sun just temporarily for several hours? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. It just doesn't make sense at all. It just doesn't make sense at all. Like, that's just crazy. The sun and the moon literally goes from here to here every day. It goes boom. It goes from east to west, east to west. Allegedly, it goes from, like, the Earth spins around a ball. But today, during the eclipse, the moon is going to go over here, sun's going to be over here, and it's going to go in the opposite direction. So that must mean that the Earth went back on its rotation then. If the Most High is not giving us signs that this science that we have today is bullshit, I don't know what else. This should be the biggest red flag to everyone who's into the solar system, who's into outer space, the celestials, all that, because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. But yeah, we shall see if anything shall happen today. I'm very interested in going. Still very interested. I know a lot of people are becoming afraid and all that. Not me, not your boy. You know, I always believe in being prepared. If you're prepared, you stay ready. You don't have to get ready. And you know, we're getting all of our stuff. We got a lot of our stuff packed up into the car yesterday evening. We still got a few more things to put in the car, but essentially we'll be ready in 2 hours. We'll be ready. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. I mean, it looks pretty clear outside. You know, they said that it was supposed to be cloudy. It's supposed to be like a record-breaking cloud coverage over the United States, but it looks like that didn't happen, at least in my part. It's gonna be partly cloudy today, but I was just outside earlier this morning. There's clouds up in the sky, but not a whole lot. Yesterday was super clear. I mean, like, it was stupid dumb clear yesterday. And then yesterday evening, a whole bunch of clouds started rolling. I'm like, oh man. But yeah, looks like we're gonna have clear skies today. So anyways, I'm ready. And yeah, just keep getting ready. So anyways, I'll talk to y'all later. Peace out. Shalom. May the God of Israel bless all those who do his will. Peace.